Hey fourth graders, so I'm back with a new picture for this week. We're going to be kind of talking about optical illusions. In the next few slides, I'm going to be showing you what exactly an optical illusion is and showing you a pretty cool example. Make sure you're kind of staring at it and you'll see how it really kind of messes with your eyes a little bit. But once we check those out, then I will come back and kind of explain to you exactly how we're going to use optical illusions in a different way in our art. Check it out. So as you can see, artists are able to use optical illusions in many ways, that you use your tools or ways that you're coloring your pictures or painting your pictures to help you play a trick on your eyes, which is really kind of playing a trick on your brain to make your eyes think that you are seeing something that may not actually be there. So a way an artist will actually do that is by using value, showing lights and darks to make something appear like it might be popping out of your paper. Now, as you can see here, is our heart really popping out of our paper? No, but we're trying to give the illusion, because we used value by making lights and darks in our heart. And you can see here we have a little bit of a shadow on the outside of our heart to kind of make you think that the heart could be popping out. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that today. So the first thing that you're going to notice that I'm doing is I am making lines across my paper. Now, it really doesn't matter which way you do your lines. They could go straight across the paper if you'd like, or they could go at an angle like this. So you don't want to make your lines super close. You kind of want to keep them a little farther apart. So go ahead, take a ruler, or if you don't have a ruler, you could use the edge of a book and make those lines for you. Or worst case scenario, which really isn't that bad, just go ahead and take a pencil and try your best to make straight lines as best as you can. Don't worry if they're not perfectly straight. Just give it a shot. So go ahead and make those lines, and then I'll check back in just a second. All right, so now we have our lines drawn. I went ahead and I tried to make mine without a ruler just to show you guys that it's possible and it will still work okay with our picture. So in my previous picture, I showed you how I did mine with a heart. So if you want to do a shape like that, that's fine. If you want to pick a different one, that's also fine too. It will work exactly the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and have a heart. And what you're going to want to do is go ahead and pick 2 or 3 different colors. For this, I used colored pencils, and my colored pencils might seem a little different, but these will still work. Crayons will also work. You probably do not want to use markers for this project because if you remember, we talked about using value. So to use value with markers, it's very difficult because we can't show the light spots or the dark spots. But with crayons or colored pencils, we are able to press hard or soft to show the difference. So really, colored pencils or crayons are what you're going to need for this week's project. So once you have the whole thing colored, then I will go ahead and show you how to do the value. So for this picture, I went ahead and I picked green, purple, pink. Doesn't matter what colors you pick, whatever colors you think might look nice together. So you would start at the top. Maybe I would do green, then I would color purple, and then I would do pink. And once you get to the part where the heart is, so if I was coloring green out here, I'm going to go ahead and just color right through the heart and continue with the green. If I'm doing purple next, go right through the heart, color everything purple. Same thing with the next line, pink, and continuing with our pattern. Color your whole picture. Try your best to color everything softly. And once you have everything colored softly, then I'll go ahead and show you how to do the rest of your picture. All right, so now I have everything all colored, and if you notice, I've colored everything pretty soft. So now we want to go in and start to add in some value. So we're going to press hard for darker areas, and we already have our light areas done that we would have pressed softly for. So we want to make it look like our heart is kind of curved and popping out. So what we need to do is along the edges of the inside of the heart, we need to start adding some darker colors. So by pressing harder, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some pink. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just slowly doing this, I'm trying to stay in the same direction while I do it. I don't want to start coloring all over and getting crazy because I kind of still want to keep it nice and neat. And I can probably keep it like this for now, and I can always go back in and add more. If I feel like this is too light, I could color over just a little bit. Remember, for the light sparks, you want to go pretty soft. All right, so then I'll go ahead to my purple, do the same thing. Right at the edge, I would say you can go ahead and make it kind of dark and go a little bit up and down, but you don't want to leave that dark line like that. So you're going to want to go ahead and start to add more. Go over it again. And I don't want to just leave it like that, so I'm going to start adding a little bit more, starting to blend my colors so they'll slowly start to look like they're going from really dark to really light. And I'm going to come over here. This part of the heart, we just need to do a little bit. Go this way. Right. Over here as well. I'm going to show you really quick kind of how we're going to touch it up. That part of the heart is going to be a little different because that's where the heart kind of dips in. So we kind of have to do a little bit of extra work on this part here. And now you can kind of start to see how the color, even though we're using the same color, we're starting to blend. There, so I'm getting a little bit of the reflection from my light hitting it. But you can see now how it's starting to look like it's curving because we've been adding some value. I want to go ahead and just pause it here. And I'm going to get the heart finished, and then we'll pick it up from where we're leaving off for the next step. All right, so now that you can see I have done my shadow around the outside where I made it nice and dark, and I have all of my light spots in the middle. Now we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of these darker spots around the outside. So I'm going to go ahead with my green and really close to the edge of the heart, I'm just going to add a little more green. That's making it a little darker. Okay, same thing with my pink, just a little bit, and with the purple. I just kind of want to help to make those spots look a little bit darker, and up here at the top. Alright, so you can see like it's starting to make a little bit of a shadow. Sorry about my light hitting, guys, but now you can kind of see it. So I'm going to quickly add a little bit over here for the side of my heart. And grab my pink and go ahead and kind of do that too. Now you can take your time with this. You can go ahead and make more. Or you can kind of leave it like this. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a black colored pencil, and I want to kind of help to make that shadow. Think about when you are standing outside and the sun is in front of you. And if you look behind yourself, you see your shadow. This is kind of the same idea. So our light is coming from over here. The light is shining on the heart, and the parts that are hidden, they won't actually see the light. So they're getting a shadow. So we are going to go ahead and just very carefully do a little bit at a time. Just start to add a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and then I'll pick up where I've left off. All right, so you can see I pretty much have finished adding in the black, and we have this shadow in addition to the green, the pink, and the purple that we added in before. So now is your chance to look at your picture and see if there's any parts that you think you need to add a little more color by adding a little more pressure to your colored pencil or your crayon and making it darker. So this is pretty much it, and you can see we've kind of played a trick on our eyes to make it look like my heart is trying to pop up off the paper by creating lights and darks by using value. So that's pretty much it for this week. I hope you guys were excited to learn about optical illusions and like checking out the one that I showed you. You can always check online and see other types of optical illusions. They can be pretty cool. So don't forget, when you're done, please just try your best with this, guys. Don't worry if you feel like you're doing it wrong. I just want to see you try your best. But make sure you're posting them to the Google Classroom with your assignments when you turn them in. Or if you're really still having trouble with that, you could always have your parents help you to email me a picture of your drawing so I can give you guys credit and make sure you get a grade for your artwork. So can't wait to see them, and I'll see you guys next week with a brand new project. Have fun, guys.